Hi everyone, Cuteness Anime here with some spooky stories to tell you. First one that I will tell you is something I remember very, very well. I was coming home from work late one night, decided to wind down with some YouTube. Instead of watching normal YouTube off of the app, I thought it'd be cool to watch YouTube off of the incognito mode. So I did. I opened up the browser, opened up incognito mode, typed in YouTube, and I thought to myself, you know what would be even better? Watching some spooky videos late at night. So I did. I watched so many spooky Jack / Auntie videos that night. Enjoying them, watching them, and eventually I would get bored, change to a different video. But I noticed something. When I did that, it caused the very beginning of the video to glitch out. For a while, I thought it was nothing, but the more I did it, the more it would glitch out, and the more it would just be at the beginning of the video. For a while, I thought, okay, this is usually what happens, but it's happening more. So either something's wrong with my tablet, or there's something wrong with the videos. Well, there was nothing wrong with the videos. They were playing fine, and my tablet was fine. So, what could explain this? I shrugged it off and kept watching. Boredomly, I watched Bile Inc. start to finish, then watched Say Goodbye start to finish. And that's when I got a notification from YouTube. Jack has posted his newest video of Satisfactory. I chose to watch it. Watching out of the ruined web browser. And I was pretty tired. And the further along the video went, the more tired I got. Eventually, I fell asleep, listening to Jack. Being Jack. It was nice. I woke back up, and I no longer heard him in my headphones. I took out my earbud, closed everything out on my tablet, and put my tablet on my nightstand along with my headphones. I went to sleep that night, and I woke back up. I woke up in my dream. I woke at my work. I was standing there. It was a late shift. Jack meanders in, our last customer for the night. He places his order, pays for it. I yell back how many patties he ordered, give him his receipt, and walked away to check up on the lobby. I walked out into the lobby, and he asked me for a cup of water. I'm like, sure. I went back, got his cup of water, came back with the cup of water, and found him on the table, sound asleep. So I walked up to his table, very nicely and very quietly put down the cup. That's when his eyes snapped open. The baby blue eyes that I saw weren't there. But that's when I was woken up, startled awake. I saw Entai's face, once close up, once in my mirror, slowly walking away. I thought nothing of it at that night. Next morning, I told everyone on the Discord server what happened. And someone with that user of Anti said he's watching. that spooked me out, and it still does. My second story was off of a nightmare. A horrible, horrible nightmare. I had it for 3 consecutive nights. The first time it happened, it was just a knife skating towards me, but it always stopped. And then it would always end there. I'd wake up breathless, panting, startled. And I would go back to sleep. Every time I went back to sleep, the same thing would happen for a while. Then the second night, it got further. Auntie being Auntie. And I vaguely remember seeing a second figure. It was too dark to tell, but I could tell it was at least the same height as Auntie. But anytime he tried to show his face, Auntie would snap me out of the nightmare. I would wake up, panting, startled, breathless, like someone had played a cruel jump scare while I was sleeping. I went back to sleep, again, waking up, panting, breathless, startled. The third night, it went even further, but it went a lot slower, like everything was slowed down for some odd reason. Again, the figure would try to show his face. And again, I would wake up. But when I went back to sleep, I had that same nightmare again. And I saw more of that figure, that second figure, on that last night than I did on the previous 2 nights. But unfortunately, I never got to see his face, because I would always get startled back awake, breathless. I felt like every time I was waking up breathless for those 3 nights, it felt like someone was slowly stealing the air out of me. I never had that nightmare ever since then. And I think I figured out who that second figure was. And my third spooky tale was Jack purring, which sounds very anticlimactic for this 3 scary tale stories. But I would, after he purred, would be thrown into a void. Anti standing there, soft eyes, messy hair, slightly stained clothes. He'd always look at me, chuckle, and then disappear, leaving me in that void to wander aimlessly and contemplating what I had done wrong. Ever since that one night that I saw Auntie twice, I was trying to go back to that dream. No matter how many spooky Auntie videos, no matter how many times I topped it off with Jack, I'd always get thrown back in that void, wandering aimlessly, then finding Auntie. He'd always chuckle, say, "You're so adorable," trying to go back to that dream and figure out why I appeared that night twice, figure out why that Discord server said what they said, figure out why you had that nightmare for 3 nights. And then he would disappear, laughing. I'd always be left in that void, running around, trying to find a way out. But nothing, no exit. And then I remember one day, in broad daylight, I was just chilling out in my room getting ready for the day, when I heard 2 knocks behind me on my wall. I turned around. Nothing was there. I asked my roommates if they had knocked on my door. They looked at me straight in the eye. No, we did not knock on your door. To this very day, every time I think about it, I get the chills. And every time I listen to anything spooky, little cracks at my big window would happen, like someone was throwing a rock at it. Anymore now, I've kind of given up trying to go back. But I wonder if I try to go back to dive deeper in that dream where Jack came to my work, if anything else would have changed, or would it have been the same, just different. I will never know, since I can never go back to that dream, since he isn't allowing me.